All right, y'all, we back at it again. Shout out to Crime Fix for the story, and let's get into it.
Certainly, the facts in this one suggest an ongoing pattern of criminal sexual activity with minors by both of these defendants.
A high school wrestling coach and his wife accused of sexually abusing students for years. Now they face criminal charges and a federal lawsuit. Thanks for joining me for Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Lee.
All right, so from the beginning, they said that this was going on for years, and in those years, nobody noticed anything awkward. And then the fact that, excuse me, the fact that the husband and wife are in on this is disgusting, bro. They've got to do something about this.
TV. The allegations made against Matthew and Paige Huck are absolutely shocking. Not only is the couple accused of sexually abusing
They must
high
have been in a
school
small
wrestlers
town or
and
something. I don't know.
cheerleaders, but school officials are accused of knowing about the abuse and doing nothing about it for years.
Oh man, all right. So, how is the school not like shut down indefinitely at that point? If they knew about it, like that's insanity, bro.
Matthew Huck was a wrestling coach and agriculture teacher in Gallia County, Ohio, up until the beginning of the current school year. His now ex-wife, Paige Huck, was a substitute teacher and cheerleading coach at River Valley High School. That was until she was permanently banned from school grounds in 2019. More
What's
on
the
that
point of
in a
them
bit.
splitting now?
The Hucks also now face criminal charges. Matt Huck faces 3 felony counts of complicity to allow unlawful sexual conduct with a minor and 1 count of rape. Paige Huck was just indicted last month on 5 counts of unlawful sexual conduct with a minor. Here's Special Prosecutor Mark Weaver on the criminal charges.
All right, y'all. So I'm assuming that this is the caveat ass statement by the school. Let's see what they talking about.
In our community, have the right to be safe from predatory behavior. Gallia County families entrust us with the responsibility of educating and protecting their children, and the safety and well-being of our students is our highest priority. Now to the allegations
Sound
in
like
the
PR
federal
was their highest
lawsuit, which
priority.
go into a lot of detail. The suit claims that in 2004, plaintiff Jane Doe 1 was sexually assaulted by Coach Huck. This abuse occurred, according to the suit, when plaintiff was a 16-year-old high school
2001,
cheerleader.
holy.
The abuse took place, the suit says, with the assistance and knowledge of his then wife, Paige Huck. The suit continues and outlines more allegations against Paige Huck. In 2016, the suit says, Paige Huck
creepy,
sexually
bro.
abused
Husband and
John
wife?
Doe 1, a 17-year-old wrestler,
Yeesh.
and John Doe 2, a 15-year-old wrestler, sometimes together. The
What
abuse
to get?
of plaintiff's
Oh,
John
man.
Doe 1.
Listen, man. You would think, and then it's 2 of them, man. I'm really. So nobody in the community questioned nothing. I know it's a small town. They had said that at one point or another, but it's like nobody questioned anything about these 2 individuals. Like, y'all are doing this. It looks like they had a 20-year run. They said 2001 was the first time, I believe. So if it's like 20 years of doing the same thing and nobody questioned anything, come on, that's creepy as hell. And nobody came forward about nothing? That's insane.
John Doe 2, John Doe 3, John Doe 4, and John Doe 5 took place with the assistance and knowledge of Coach
Look
Huck.
how many victims they
At
got.
all relevant periods of time, Coach Huck was an employee of the BOE, serving as both a teacher and wrestling coach at River Valley High School. Paige Huck, also a Board of Education employee, served as a substitute teacher and cheerleading coach at RVHS, that's the high school. The suit also claims that inappropriate things happened on out-of-town trips for wrestling meets. For instance, one allegation is that in
So
January
they had
of
like an unlimited
2003,
buffet of kids.
Matthew and
Like,
Paige
that's not
Huck
even.
watched porn in a hotel room at a wrestling meet with the
Oh,
wrestlers.
man.
Later that year in November, the suit claims that the Hucks hosted a lock-in party at their house where they played porn for the wrestlers, cheerleaders, and football players. The suit says Paige Huck engaged in sexual
I don't know.
intercourse with numerous male students. Male students stood in a line and took turns having sex with Paige Huck in the bedroom while Coach Huck stood next to them and watched the sexual activity.
I gotta ask too, at one point or another, not trying to like make the kids seem like they should have done or could have done anything different, but to some degree, I have to ask, like, these kids kept showing up. Like, why did they keep showing up after the initial thing happened, if it was the same victims, because I don't know, it's looking like it happened over a long period of time. I wouldn't have kept showing up to practice at all. Like, this doesn't make any sense.
Paige Huck having sex with students and Coach Huck watching all of this. Principal Jacobs simply said he would look into it when alerted to the behavior. This is what the lawsuit claims. After cheerleaders made a report to the principal, the suit claims that they were bullied and harassed. The report to Principal
Wow.
Jacobs, the suit says, is not even noted in the personnel files of Paige Huck or Coach Huck. Then there is some information about Jane Doe 1 and an allegation that she made. She claimed that Coach Huck fondled her below
That's some
her
scary
pants
stuff,
one
bro.
evening. Jane Doe 1, according to the suit, continued to pretend to be asleep, but then got up from the encounter
That's like,
crying and headed to the bathroom. The suit
these
continues.
kids ain't have
Jane Doe 1
no
asked a friend to take her home. During the
reprieve.
drive, the friend told Jane Doe 1 that the same type of assault happened to her at the hands of the Hucks. The suit includes other descriptions of sexual abuse involving wrestlers. The next
I'm gonna leave this right here. I don't want this to get too long. We got another story. Let's see what we're talking about.
in Florida, led away in handcuffs. She's accused of having sex with a student in the back seat of her car
In the
and then
back
buying him
seat.
gifts. We'll have more on that
That's
and other
crazy. Then she
disturbing
tried
details from the complaint.
to
Thanks for
buy
joining
it.
me for Crime
That's
Fix. I'm
crazy.
Anjanette Levy. Lauren King is in jail in the Fort Myers area,
Good.
facing charges for molesting a student who was between the ages of 12 and 16 years old. She's also
Okay.
facing a count of lewd and lascivious behavior. Both of those are second-degree felonies. King was a teacher at Royal Palm Exceptional School.
So hold on. If they said the kid is between 12 and 16, the original kid they said was for sure 12. Is there more than one kid? I'm a little confused with that. Sorry, yeah.
School in the Fort Myers area. That boy was 12 when the alleged abuse started, and police say some of it actually happened at the school.
Okay,
The
so
details in
it's
the
saying it happened over
affidavit are
time.
graphic.
Okay.
I want to start there. King is accused of sending photos and videos of her breasts and backside and other private parts to the boy. Police say they found those items on her phone.
All right, so here we go with the same MO again. The sending pictures and videos. The dumbest criminals ever. But I also have to say, like, there has to be a component of excitement to the situation as to why it's happening, because nothing else makes sense. Like, there's nothing that the person could do for you. There's nothing that they could really give you. It has to be excitement. This is a weird phenomenon, though. And the more of these I cover, the more I realize, like, this is like an epidemic. This is not just a simple situation. This is a multitude of a lot of different situations with a lot of different people.
An affidavit says King had sex with the boy in the backseat of her car when she called him. And this happened, according to police, in the parking lot of the boy's grandmother's apartment complex. Says King bribed the boy with Beats headphones, a hoodie that he
Wow.
wanted for his birthday, and even sent him money on a
So she
Cash
started
App,
tricking
at
on him.
least $235. The affidavit quotes King's messages to the boy, telling him he would be arrested. She also told him that she loved him and to delete his messages. She claimed she was going to leave the area and
Always
find a
trying to
new
cover it
job.
up
I
afterward.
asked
Like,
the attorney representing the boy's family how
that
he's
is
doing.
insanity,
He is
bro.
now 13.
I don't think he knows yet how grave and
That
serious
might be a
the
serious
situation
situation.
is. I think it's going to take a lot of years for him to recover based off of studies that are done in this area to sexual assault victims.
I also asked Fadlan Pierre about this misconception that some people have that boys who are targeted by female teachers might enjoy it. If you read the affidavit, it is clear in this case, this boy did not enjoy it and he was scared.
And I
It
know
almost
you're
seemed
not
like she
saying
forced
that,
it on him.
but
Like,
some people may suggest it that, hey, we should take a different tone as to the crime that was committed by Miss King. Uh, I don't think the law recognizes a difference between the gender of the victim. It does recognize the age of the victim. And my client was 12 years old at the time. And in no way, when an authority figure who is given the
Crazy.
ultimate responsibility of taking care of our kids can bribe a child, mislead, manipulate the child into thinking that just because he's a
It almost seemed like she had to force it on him because of the um the gifts that she gave him afterwards. That almost seems like he ain't want to do it. She might have convinced him to do it, but then afterwards, like, tried to cover it up with the gifts and be like, "Hush, we got you. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out." Type stuff. All right, last one, y'all.
Teacher in Connecticut charged with having sex with a student 16 years later. I lay out what police say Renee
So she got
De
away
Leon
with it for
did and
16
the
years, I'm
charges that
assuming.
she faces. Plus, a teacher's assistant in Kansas
Yeah.
also faces charges involving sex with a student. We'll break down both cases with a former sex crimes prosecutor. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Police in Wallingford, Connecticut have charged a 52-year-old woman with having sex with a student. At the time, Renee De Leon was a teacher at James Moran Middle School. This was back in 2008, and police say that student was only 14 years old.
So
A
what?
Facebook post from Wallingford Police says the sexual encounters took place between April 23rd, 2008 and December 31st
That's
of that
crazy.
same
She
year.
got away with it for
Police
16
wrote,
years.
the relationship allegedly included numerous sexual acts, including intercourse. Detectives conducted many interviews and executed a search and seizure warrant as part of the investigation.
That's
De
some
Leon
wild
is
stuff.
no longer employed by the Wallingford school system.
But
Now, I
bet.
contacted the Wallingford School District to see when De Leon stopped working there. So far, my message has not been returned. But back to 2008. At that
I don't want
time,
the
De Leon
embarrassment.
would have been 36. And again, that student just 14. The student would now be around 30 years old. Police say they became aware of
How'd
this
they even find it
incident
out?
on April 15th of this year, and the investigation unfolded from there. De Leon was taken into custody and charged with sexual assault in the second degree just recently, and she was also charged with injury to or impairing the morals of a child. 7-year-old Cassidy Alexander, she faces charges
She is
also
not the prettiest.
related to an allegation that she was having sex with a high school student who was 16 or older. A little bit different of a case, but still she was in a position of authority. She was a paraprofessional at Lexington
They
Trails
gonna
Middle
learn one
School
day.
in DeSoto outside of Kansas City. And the district released this statement, Dan. It says, on Tuesday, May 14th, the district administration was made aware of an allegation of an inappropriate relationship between a female classified employee at Lexington Trails Middle School and a male high school student. Based on this information, the school district acted immediately to protect and care for those involved by suspending the employee in question. Upon being suspended, the individual immediately resigned their employment.
I have a question. That this is what confuses me about a lot of these cases too. I mean, I understand that regardless of what crime it is, you know, there are people who've done it before, and you see what happens to them and maybe how things played out with them. Like, have these people, like, do these people think that these crimes have never been committed? Like, do they not think to themselves like, okay, if I go ahead and do this, this can end really bad for me. I want to know what the thought process is, because it's almost like most of the time it doesn't seem like they're thinking at all. But hey, who knows?
And Cassidy Alexander appeared in court. She posted bail. She's free right now, but will be back in court at a later date. So here we
She's
have a
free right now.
27-year-old woman who's accused of having sex with a high school student who's 16 or older. You know, she's still in a position of authority. You are not allowed to do that. It's against the law. And it seems like we're seeing a lot more of these female teachers being charged these days.
Exactly.
So what do you make of that? It seems like more and more females.
All right, y'all. If y'all enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button. If you feel like I deserve it, please give me a sub. Also, hit the notification bell. Click all if you're interested in the channel and the information we provide. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.